All right. Hey, you can hear me this time. I tried doing this yesterday and apparently my microphone was not working. Um I just didn't think I was muted, but apparently I was. But we're doing a rerun of this episode and yeah, I'm not going to use the studio light because I feel like the glare from outside is good enough. Daylight savings time really messed me up. I went to bed at 4 in the morning and woke up at 11. I was more so we already been used to fall back an hour, but now we've sprung ahead an hour. And I look over at my clock. It's like, how is it already 3 a.m.? Oh, that's right. That was because I was like, how did time fly so fast? But Grand Slam. We're gonna be talking about the this past week in wrestling, which was somewhat of an interesting week. It had its ups and it had its downs. First of all, Monday/Tuesday. Looks like this is actually gonna happen. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 38. Yeah. I don't know how to really what to really feel, what to think about it because first of all, like I'm happy to see Stone Cold get back in the ring one more time, but you know, the biggest concerns that I really do have is like some of the effects from some of those injuries that he's had over the years that he still has to carry to this day. For example, the neck injury that he had sustained at least a little over 25 years ago or so, when his neck got broken. And also just a lot of other injuries that kind of follow along with it. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that, but I mean, I'm glad to see that he is getting back in the ring. I mean, but Stone Cold for 57 years old, he's such an incredible shape for his age, and I feel like he might do fine, but Kevin's gonna have to take really good care of him in the ring. And regardless of what happens, I have a feeling that Owens is going over. Regardless, I don't see Stone Cold winning at all. He'll open up a can of whoop ass and then uh, put him over. That's I think that's all that's gonna happen. Uh, Wednesday, biggest up. You know what? That was the biggest up. Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy made his AEW debut. Like Wednesday was actually a pretty good one, I'd say. But it was. Well, I've heard that it was kind of a bad episode because it was like a year's worth of TV crammed into one night. From what I've heard, from some reviews, and I can kind of see where they're coming from, but I'd say the biggest up would two really from the Dynamite. Paige Van Zant is all elite. Listen, it's very interesting to see of how AEW has taken a different turn instead of having to sign on some ex WWE talent, especially ones that come out of AEW or WWE, sorry, and then go straight into AEW. Um, and I made a comment on somebody's TikTok a little while back saying how what I think is the reason for that, and that's a lot of money. You see a lot of those zeros behind that one, or the twos, or the threes, or whatnot, and those dollar signs. That money talks. And those WWE wrestlers that come out of that company and go to AEW, they can generate a lot of money, including the originals of AEW. Um, as far as the indie scene, they can do that, but just not quite to the level of that ex WWE talent. Um, but still, it's great to see that some indie wrestlers get in there, even some former UFC fighters and bare knuckle fighters in Paige Van Zandt's right. Um, So I'm looking forward to seeing what her in-ring ability is going to look like after some, obviously after some training. She's going to need quite a bit of training. She is going to really need to learn the ropes and take some bumps, just that way she can get a feel what that's like. Because it's not like where, if you get knocked out in a bare knuckle fight or UFC, you just fall to the ground once and then get back up. No, it's like more than at least 2 to 3 times, more than 2 to 3 times that you're going to be flat back and onto the floor. So yeah, that's just something I think Paige is going to have to get used to, and I feel like she plays the role of a heel. I'd say pretty good. There's a little bit of work to be done, but I think she can do it. She does have the star power to piss a lot of people off. She definitely pissed me off when she attacked Ty Conti from behind because that's a chicken shit thing to do. um, but no, I mean either way, I'm really happy. I'm excited to see Paige Van Zant become all elite and see what she can do. But now here comes the biggest down. Oh wait, Scorpio Sky. Scorpio Sky became the TNT champion, and I was also going to talk about Jeff Hardy. But yeah, Jeff. As far as Jeff's concerned, his road to AEW. Oof. We all know what happened, but to those that don't, apparently on a house show, Jeff. There was some things that Jeff was doing that WWE thought, oh, he's probably on drugs again. They sent him home, and then a couple days later, they release him because they thought he was doing drugs again or alcohol, whatever it was. And then Jeff took a drug test, I think it was, and the results came back negative. And WWE was like, oh, yeah, so that was a mistake on our part. Would you like to come back? I mean, if we would like you back, if you do come back, we can give you an automatic slot for the Hall of Fame, and also lots of money. Like, do you want that? And Jeff was like, "Screw you guys." I'm so glad Jeff decided even then decided not to go to rehab because as if you've been watching some of Matt's Twitch streams or some clips from his Twitch streams that have been floating around the internet, you'll hear Matt say that Jeff is fine, Jeff is good. He wasn't taking any drugs whatsoever, and the Hardy Boys now are reunited. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what this run takes him down. It's been about 2 years in the making, but here we are. Now let's get to the lowest of lows from this past week. SmackDown. Butch. Need I say more? Butch. You take Pete Dunne's character, which actually was fine the way that it was, and you completely turn it upside down, shake it around, and give Pete the nickname, or not the nickname, but the actual ring name, Butch, when he gets called up to the main roster. Who on the creative team thought, oh, in order for people to get behind you, we need to pair you up with Sheamus and Rich Holland, and we need to change your wardrobe completely. And as far as your name, no one's gonna know that name, so we're gonna change your name to Butch. That's a great idea. And everybody in the creative team was like, yeah, that's awesome. That's a great idea. Let's do it. I bet Pete, when Pete came on to the screen on a backstage segment, if you saw his face, I don't know, I couldn't tell if that was just his character or if he was just seething in anger towards WWE, like absolutely seething. Um, I bet he's probably rethinking um some re-signing with the company because he could have jumped ship, but no, he decided to re-sign with the company. This is what happens. This is what happens. They, if anything, they should have just brought him back the way that brought him into the main roster exactly the way that he was. Like they should have just brought him up to the main roster just as Pete Dunne. And that's it. You don't need to change his name. You don't need to change the wardrobe. You just need to bring him up. And as far as like any sort of alignment or whatnot, I don't think he needs to be aligned with Sheamus or Ridge Holland. They're fine the way that they are. They're fine just by themselves. And Pete Dunne, I feel like, would be best by himself. I mean, he's already uh, a strong character inside and outside of the ring. You don't need to pair him up with two other people. That's just my thought, but still, I don't think I think it's going to be really difficult, not just for myself, but for a lot of people to get behind somebody named Butch. I'm sorry, WWE. What were you thinking? What were you thinking? That's gonna do it for this episode. Um, it's a Sunday. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna enjoy this Sunday. I'm gonna do everything that I can to do on this Sunday before I have to get ready for work tomorrow, and then go back to the likely high chances of working Saturdays again. So, anyways, that's gonna do it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.